do-it-yourselfers, we're doing a drywall patch. This is a 2x2 wall patch. This is a simple process you can watch and learn. Basically, we're just gonna get this area cut out, re-sheetrock, tape coated 2 times, and then texture match. So let's watch the video and see the process. First step with the patch, you want to always mask off your area. Put down plastic, tarp, a sheet, cardboard, newspaper, whatever you have to contain your area. Get your loose cutout pieces out. What I'm doing is I'm using a T-square. If you don't have a T-square, you can use a level or a 2x4 just to mark the areas nice and square. This patch is exactly from stud to stud, so I'm cutting it halfway on the stud. That way I can have something to screw the new sheetrock to, so I don't really have to put backing in since I'm cutting it halfway on the stud. Get the area nicely cut out, razor blade, nice and square and perfect. You always want to add screws on your outside framing, on your outside sheetrock to tighten it up. Some people think you just put screws in the patch, but you always want to tighten up that old sheetrock. Get your measurements, your sheetrock. I'm cutting my sheetrock on my tailgate. You can cut it however you want. This is the process I'm using just to keep it simple and easy. Simple measurements, score the sheetrock, snap the back, cut the back. Once you get your sheetrock piece to fit, always add screws. I like to add screws at least 2 to 4 inches. This is 1/2 inch sheetrock, so I use 1.25 inch, 1.5 inch screws. Get plenty of screws in the sheetrock, tighten it up. Once you get the patch installed, scrape the sides. Always scrape your sides before you use a fiberglass mesh tape. This patch I'm using a 5-minute mud. You can use other quick set muds, 20-minute, 40-minute, 90-minute. If you're not comfortable using hot muds, always use a joint compound. Joint compounds you have to let dry overnight. These quick set muds, you can do the patch in one trip. I'm just striking in the tape, get it filled in. I'm just doing a nice healthy first coat. I'm not putting it on too heavy because this is a hot mud. It's not like a regular joint compound. Always wash up your tools when you're done. If you don't have a washout hose area, you can always use a bucket sponge method like I'm doing. Since I don't have a hose on site, this is how I'm cleaning my tools. Always clean your tools. Now I'm doing a wet slick out technique with a wet sponge and a 6-inch knife. Do this before the hot mud sets up. With this, it's 5-minute mud, so it sets up within 5 minutes, so you got to slick it out. Now I'm going to mix a second coat. It's a little less than the first coat pan, less than 1/2 pan of mud. Add a little bit more water to make it creamier than the first coat. Just sprinkle in some if you need some, a little more mud. Second coat process, you're basically taking the skim coat further from the first coat. Nice tight skim coat. Clean up your tools. Always clean up your tools right away. You don't want this mud setting up in your tools. It'll be a real challenge trying to get that hot mud off your tools if it dries. Same thing, second coat, after it's setting up, slick it out with a 6-inch knife. Slicking it out, you're taking off the extra mud. It's kind of like a wet sanding technique, but it's called slicking out hot mud. A must do on all hot muds. This is a process to deal with hot muds only. Once the area is cleaned up, you're ready to texture. I'm mixing up some red line, or you can use joint compound. This is a red line mud that I had already mixed. Get you a few scoops. You don't need a lot of mud. We are doing a skip trowel. The coat process is the same on all patches. The texture may be different on your project, but on this project it's a skip trowel. It goes up and down skip trowel, so we're just matching it. A lot of guys use big knives to do skip trowel. I'm just using a nice 6-inch knife. A nice straight 6-inch knife is perfect for doing these skip trowel patches. If some guys use a big knife, that's fine and dandy, but you have more knife control using your 6-inch knife. So let's use our 6-inch knife first. Once you're good with the 6-inch knife, then you can upgrade to a bigger knife. Nice skip trowel. I'm taking